Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. With everything going on in the world right now, I thought I would just make a quick video. Quick being relative based on the way I usually make videos. But I just wanted to make a video and just kind of check in and kind of see like, hey, how are you all doing? I hope you're all staying safe and healthy and staying home if possible, and if you are one of those folks that are part of essential services out there, doctors, nurses, delivery folks, truck drivers, you name it, then thank you for being out there and doing what you do and putting yourself at risk every day to make sure that the rest of us can live and have what we need. I am, for my part, I mean, I'm practically a hermit as it is anyway, so the whole staying at home and social distancing and stuff, that's just kind of how I live normally. Admittedly, I mean, I do go and see friends more often, usually. Every Wednesday I used to play trivia with friends of mine. We had a pub quiz that we went to every week, and at least once or twice a week my friends would come over and we'd binge watch TV together. Obviously those activities have been halted for the time being, and all of us are all staying at home as much as possible. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm not in the high-risk category yet, but I am slightly older. Most of my friends are in their 50s and 60s and getting closer to the age of where the risk is. My aunt and uncle are in their 70s. My uncle just had prostate cancer surgery, and while I don't think he's had chemo yet, he might need to get into chemotherapy soon if the surgery wasn't successful in eradicating the cancer. So he is definitely part of a high-risk group. I mean, this is his third bout of cancer now in his life. He's beaten Hodgkin's lymphoma. He had a variety of melanomas that he developed from the radiation treatment from the Hodgkin's that he'd had 30 years earlier. And now he's battling stage 4 prostate cancer. So, you know, I'm obviously very worried about him and hoping that, you know, on top of all this, that coronavirus isn't what ultimately gets him, because he's one of the few family members I have left. So, you know, obviously that's for me. I'm more worried about him than I am about myself. However, you know, obviously, as people keep saying, is like, you know, it's not always about yourself, it's also about other people, and if you isolate yourself, you lessen the risk of spreading. If you happen to have any corona anywhere on you, if you're somehow transferring it to someone else, you know, you could get someone else sick, that kind of thing. So, obviously, I'm trying to do that. And then, you know, I did go through, my body was traumatized through 5 different surgeries last year, so I'm fairly well recovered from all of them at this point, but, you know, there are still parts of me that are still healing, and I don't know how that would affect me when it comes to coronavirus. So, you know, I still need to be somewhat careful. And I know that my roommate, and she's actually she's a gas station attendant, so she does have to go to work. She is one of those essential people, you know, and it's a great thing that she has, you know, she's still out there working and earning a living and stuff, but, you know, at great risk, interacting with the public and things, having to deal with taking cash from customers, and that kind of thing. So, you know, she's out there, and, you know, I'm trying not, you know, I'm isolating so I don't end up bringing it home and getting her sick, but at the same time, you know, she's doing as much as she can with hand sanitizer and soap and water and washing her hands and that kind of thing to avoid bringing it home to me as well. So we're both trying to do our best to keep each other healthy. And, you know, she tends to date a lot of people, and that has also ceased for now because, you know, obviously you want to limit exposure to other people and that kind of thing. So she's had to join me in the not dating realm, because I haven't dated I've literally not dated, and I realize that it's been 15 years since I've actually dated. Uh, the last guy I dated before my husband, well, he and I broke up literally almost 15 years ago. It was like February of 2005. And after that relationship ended, it lasted all of 6 weeks. I mean, it wasn't much of a relationship. I just kind of deleted all of my dating profiles. I was on Match.com and OkCupid and that kind of thing back in the day. This was before Grindr and Tinder and all those things existed. And I deleted all of those profiles 15 years ago and just never looked back. And then a year later I met my husband, and we just kind of like, I don't say that, you know, like, yeah, okay, we had our first, well, our first date happened after we had known each other for almost a year, and we'd already kind of been doing a couple things, and then it was kind of weird because we never really dated. I mean, like, there was like a dinner and a movie date. Well, there was one date that we kind of, like, was kind of a date. But we kind of fell right into a relationship almost immediately. We just clicked so well when we finally came to the decision to, like, hey, we should be a couple. After knowing each other for over a year and having interacted at various parties, mutual friends of ours and stuff. And so we never really dated. We just kind of became a couple. We went from friends to just a thing. And so it's been a very long time since I dated, and obviously since he passed in 2016, I have not dated. I haven't wanted to. I'm like, you put so much of yourself into a relationship, and you know, there's a lot of compromise between you and your partner and everything, which is, you know, as it should be with a relationship. But since he's been gone, while I miss him and I would give anything for him to be back, I enjoy being on my own and the freedom that affords. And so I'm very reluctant to get back into a relationship again with anybody. Plus, with my transition, that would have been awkward the last couple years. And as my transition progresses, you know, maybe I'd become more open to it, but yeah. See, I told you, I warned you at the beginning, like, yeah, brief update, yeah, and I start rambling because that's that's just what I do. But anyway, so I'm, like, you know, like I said, I'm doing my best to just kind of stay home. I wanted to, because the local grocery store that I use the most, usually has this service where you can order online and then just kind of drive to the store, and they'll just bring the groceries out to you, and you prepay online and everything. Well, apparently I'm not the only person who wanted to try the service, because when you do your shopping online, you put everything in your cart and you go through the process, and then you have to pick a day and time to go pick up the groceries, so that they, you know, that they have someone have all your groceries ready, and you have I think there's like a 15-minute window or a half-an-hour window where you're supposed to arrive and get your groceries. And there wasn't a single slot of time open in the next 2 weeks to go get groceries. So while I wanted to try and social distance even further by doing that, now I could try this with one of the other grocery stores in town, and or like Whole Foods, because I have an Amazon Prime account and they could deliver possibly. But I suspect that they're backed up a lot as well. So I may just venture out tomorrow and just go to the store myself and pick up a few things. I don't plan on hoarding anything. In fact, I haven't bought a single roll of toilet paper in almost a month now because I haven't needed it. I am one of those people, I don't shop that frequently. I try and shop as infrequently as possible because I don't enjoy it. And so I buy like the big, like 32 or 64 roll packs of toilet paper. You know, it's cheaper per roll that way anyway. I mean, you're plunking down $20 for this massive thing, but you get 64 rolls and it lasts a long time. And I still have like 10 or 12 rolls left at the moment, so, you know, I'm good right now. And I'm not going to buy more until I'm down to maybe like my last 3 rolls or something, or 2 rolls, because it seems to, I never was really paying that close attention to how frequently I replace my rolls and how frequently I replace my toilet paper, because it wasn't something I had to worry about, but I've been paying closer attention, and it seems I take about 6 days to go through a single roll, because it's just me, it's just myself, and so I'm like, okay, I've got like 10 rolls, I've got a good 60 days supply yet, so I'm really not going to worry until I get closer to like where I'm going to need it within a couple of weeks or so, and then it's like, okay, then I need to maybe go out and purchase some more. If I can buy a big one, I will. If I'm forced to have to, you know, buy whatever size is available, then, you know, I'll deal with it. But that's just, you know, I don't tend to hoard, you know, warehouse full amounts of toilet paper, but I do like to get, you know, a single large pack of it, because that's just how I shop. But when it comes to like fresh food and that kind of thing, obviously, you know, that's not going to last more than a week or two, and so, you know, I will purchase that. But I also use the meal kit service from Sunbasket, and so they send me fresh produce and fresh meat and that kind of thing, and so that's usually where most of my fresh food comes from, is the Sunbasket meals I make, and then I kind of supplement that with the healthier choices of frozen foods that I can just pop in the microwave and things. And one thing I do also enjoy doing is just kind of making a big pot of stew or chili or something like of that nature, and then eating, you know, a portion of that, obviously, and then putting it into a bunch of containers and throwing it in the freezer. So I actually have a number of containers full of frozen food in the freezer from previous meals that I've made. So, and it's not even a prepper thing or a disaster preparedness or anything like that. It's just more of, that's just how I live. I just try to reduce the amount of shopping I do as much as possible, and that's one of my methods. Plus you never know, you know, living in Colorado, if you're going to get snowed in someday, and you might be snowed in for a week or something like that. So I like to make sure that I have food in the house and that kind of thing, so that if I ever got stuck, I'm fine. I'm not going to starve. I'm not going to, you know, have any other problems. So I'm usually well prepared in these kind of situations, and it's more to do with my hermit lifestyle than it has to do with anything else. So I'm, you know, thankfully I'm better prepared than a lot of folks seem to be, and, you know, I do hope that people kind of take a breath and stop trying to hoard like I don't even get the whole toilet paper thing. It's like, if you are a person who has panic bought toilet paper, can you explain to me why? What was on your mind when you thought, shit, I need to buy a ton of toilet paper? Like, I don't understand this, and not a single one of my friends has admitted to doing this. All of them have said, nope, they have not gone out and stocked up on toilet paper. So I'm like, where is this coming from? Who was doing this, and why is this happening? You'd think food and that kind of thing would be much higher on people's list in terms of panic buying stuff. So anyway, that's pretty much all I really wanted to get into today. There's a lot of stuff I could talk about, but I don't want to make this video too long. I mean, it's probably long enough as it is already. So thank you for joining me. I may or may not try and film a little bit more frequently during all of this, so that folks have something else to occupy their time. I mean, I don't know how interesting I am, but, you know, hey, I figure I upload it and give people other options of things to watch, and if they want to watch, yay, and if they don't, well, it's not like this channel is monetized anymore. I lost my monetization years ago when I didn't have the, when they changed the watch time requirements and stuff. People just, you know, and I don't upload enough videos. You know, like if I was uploading every day and everyone was watching at least half of the videos and stuff, I might get to the watch time requirements necessary in order to get monetized again, but that takes a lot of work, and because I'm so focused on my writing and everything else, and working on my next novel, and working on articles for Medium, and everything else that I'm doing these days, I just don't have time to make videos every single day. But I am still doing fine, and I will try and make updates and stuff, and maybe make some other topical videos, and maybe I'll try and do a couple that are like not pandemic related. But for today, I just wanted to just like, hey, I'm doing good. My roommate's still fine, and I hope that all of you out there are doing well as well. That's weird. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Until next time, take care. Bye.